What's going on, everyone? I'm Paul from KW Renovations, and today's video is actually more for the customers and clients. I wanted to discuss some of the tips and tricks on how you can find the right contractor and what things you can ask them and what things to look for in the right contractor. All right, so let's get right into it. All right, guys, the first place where I would look if I was in need of a contractor, I think, would be to just simply ask my friends and family, whether you post it online or you just call around and ask, hey, do you know anyone who's done any renovations lately? Do you know anyone who's had any renovations done? Have you worked with any contractors? Can anyone recommend a good contractor locally? And it's my belief a personal word of mouth referral is the absolute best. It can't be beat. It's the best kind of referral you can get. Honestly, that's why we work so hard in our industry to make sure that our clients are happy when the job is done, to make sure that they enjoyed the process, even though we're in their grill and in their face and in their house every day making a mess, they still enjoy the process of working with us. We have good sub-trades, we have good communication with them, we try to have a little bit of fun with them, we try to go above and beyond so that the whole process is enjoyable and a pleasant experience for them. So that at the end, when they're done and they're talking and they're sitting having dinner with their friends or family, you want that conversation about your company to be a positive one. Okay, so that is the best referral you can get. And to be honest, as a customer, as someone who's looking for a contractor, that's the most valuable referral you can get. That's the best way to find a contractor, is by having someone that you know or trust, or a family member or a friend or someone that you know or trust directly recommend somebody to you that they've worked with. They're saying to you, hey, I've worked with these guys in the past, they were great, you should give them a call. Okay, so step one, ask your family and friends, ask around locally, and see if you can get some word of mouth referrals, or see if you can get some direct referrals from people that had a good experience with a company. Now, you've got your referrals, you maybe have a little list of contractors you want to call. The next thing you want to do is to pay attention to the details. Okay, so when you're calling these contractors, how do they answer the phone? Are they busy? Are they preoccupied? Are they rude? Are they short? Are they attentive to what you want? Are they polite? Are they professional? Do they even answer their phone, right? These are all signs of what it's going to be like working with them, okay? Then when they come to do the estimate, do they show up on time? Do they show up looking professional? Do they provide you with an estimate in a timely manner? Whether that's, ask them, how long is it going to take for me to get this estimate? And most of them will say, oh, within 24 hours or whatever. Make sure it's there within 24 hours. If it's late, it's probably an indication that some of the other stuff that they're going to do is going to be late, right? So pay attention to the details, the little nuances of how do they treat you going through the process, okay? Do they keep their word? Are they professional? Do they say what they're going to do? Okay? Now, I want you to understand this. The questions that you're going to ask the contractor are designed for you to sort of figure out where they stand. What kind of contractor are they? Because most contractors show up at the house, they all look the same, they all dress the same, they all promise the same thing, they all say they can do it, they all say they have experience. So here are a few things that you can do to sort of get the real sense of who they are, what their company's like, what they do, etc., etc., okay? So here's a few questions you can ask them. I think one of the best questions you can ask them is, what's your business structure like? Who runs your business? Who is doing the actual work on my property? Who's doing the job? What's your role? So first of all, I do a lot of the communication with our clients. So they email me, I go to their house, I go do the quote, I send them the quote, I follow up with them. So they meet me, they see me, and sometimes they are literally expecting me to show up there on the day of and start doing the work. So it's important as a contractor, but it's also very important as a customer to know what your contractor's business structure is like. So ask him, is it just you? Do you have any employees? Do you have one employee, two employees? Are they full-time, part-time? Do you have no employees, and are they all subcontractors or sub-trades? These are all questions you can ask to kind of get a sense of what their business model is like. So get a sense of what their business is like. What's the size of their business? How many employees do they have? Is the person quoting you the owner? Who is the owner? Are they going to be available to you once the project has started? Okay, so get a sense for who's all going to be working on your project. And this is very important because it's going to weed out the handyman contractors. Okay, these are the one-man band guys, the one-man team who do everything, right? You've seen these guys, they list that they can do anything and everything. And no disrespect, a lot of them can do almost everything very well. And there's no, I have no issues or disrespect for any of these guys. However, when you're looking to get a professional job renovation done, when you're looking to get a renovation done and you want it done professionally and quickly, and you want that process to be smooth and effective and sort of painless, and you want a company with some experience. You want an owner or a manager or whoever is in charge that cares a bit and is going to be there and is going to make this process enjoyable for you. Maybe not enjoyable, but is going to make this process pain-free for you, okay? So if it's just a one guy who's going to be doing the flooring, the drywall, the painting, the trim, the whatever, everything, you can already bet that the length of time it's going to take them to do a basement renovation is going to be way longer than for example, a company that has a bunch of sub-trades and some employees, right? So keep in mind, if you're not in a rush or if it's a small job, maybe the handyman guy is going to be ideal for this job. Maybe, okay? So I'm not saying discount him. I'm not saying, I'm just saying figure out what you're dealing with, who you're dealing with, because there's a lot of handymen that go under a company that represent themselves with a company name, and then they show up to this basement renovation and it's just them, right? So make sure you know who you're dealing with, okay? The next thing you can ask them is, do you have a contract that you get your customers to sign? And if so, can I see it? Can I get a rough draft of it? We always have a contract. It's very important. And the contract is not only for us, but for the customers. It's a document that is completely open for discussion and open for changes before we sign it. We put it's intended so that we're all on the same page, so that we are so that we see eye to eye with what the plan is, what the time frame is, what the payment structure is like, what we're doing, what we're not doing. So it's all very detailed in your contract, and so there's no confusion, okay? So it's very important. And so as a customer, you can ask your contractor if they have a contract or some sort of agreement that they would want you to sign, okay? Okay, here's another thing you guys can do that is often overlooked. You can ask your contractor for references. He is applying for a job to work for you. He or she is applying, is presenting to you, is bidding to you to get this job. So it's in your hands. It's in your power. So ask for some references. And then when you call the references, ask them some questions about what they did and whatever, because you'll pretty quickly find out if it's a cousin or a sister or somebody answering the phone and not an actual customer. So ask for some references. Also, if you get this response from your contractor, well, I don't want to bother my past clients with references, skip them. Go to the next contractor immediately. That is not what you ever want to hear. If it's a new contractor who has no previous experience, that's fair. Then and they tell you honestly that they don't have any because they don't have enough experience that way, fine. But take their price and their experience level into consideration, of course. But if they give you this excuse of like, well, I don't want to bother all my past clients with references, that's BS. Move on to the next one. If you have happy clients, guys, your happy clients will be, your clients, as long as they're happy, your clients are going to be more than happy to give you a reference, whether it's a written one or a quick phone call or a text or something. Your clients are going to give you references. So if your contractor is hesitant to give you references, skip them. Go to the next, okay? So ask for references. Also, ask, now this is a big one, guys. Ask about the payment structure. How do you structure the payments for jobs like this? If it's a small job, maybe it's 50% deposit, 50% when it's done. If it's a large job, maybe it's in phases and it's an incremental, a percentage base on when the framing's done, you get 25%. When the drywall's done, you get another 25%. Or maybe they don't have any structure at all and it's just pay me up front. Or maybe they say, pay me when it's done. So all of those are good indicators of where they stand. Typically, if a contractor is really well organized, they're going to have a payment structure. They're going to be able to tell you what they normally do, how they normally break down the payments, and make it fair so that you don't have to fork up all this money and then be left with the nightmare stories that we've all heard about. Okay, so hopefully these tips help you a little bit in choosing the right contractor. I'm sure there's a lot of other ones that I missed, but hopefully that gives you a little bit of value in trying to find the right contractor. And as always, if you have any questions, reach out to us. Have a great day.